What's up, everybody? I know you know what time it is. It's time for another video while I take another walk on this nice day up in the beautiful La Quinta Cove in California. Pretty nice, as you can see. So I wanted to do a topic that I think will probably be my most controversial subject I will speak on in this video. And that would be the concept of white privilege and reparations for the black community. Now, I know that people who believe that there's white privilege and there should be reparations for the black community are not going to like what I have to say, but I'm going to say this, is that for me, as a person who is white, well, technically I am white and half Mexican, I will say for myself, I do not have white privilege and I don't believe in the concept of reparations for slavery. Okay? Let me explain why before you give me all these hate comments and dislikes and saying I'm a racist or whatever. Here's the thing. What is white privilege? In my eyes, white privilege is a concept, an idea that because I am a white person, I am able to get ahead in life and get what I want above black people. Just for being white. And this was basically based on the ideas in which whites are superior to blacks. And that because you're white, you can go ahead and get better paying work. You're going to go ahead and make more money. You are not going to be as scrutinized by the law. And you are able to go through life more blissfully and easily. Well, I would say, honestly, that is a load of fucking bullshit. Okay? I do not believe that really anyone is privileged, no matter what race you are. There are certain privileges that you can get in life, say that depending on where you were born and raised, and what your family was like, and your genetics, as explained in the video I saw for Prager University about white privilege. But I believe that ultimately your life is based on the choices you make and your attitude and how smart you are and how responsible you are, okay? Now, what is it that is really holding the black community back? I think that one of the main reasons why, well, let's get into that a little bit later. Here's another thing, is that I hear everyone talk about white privilege, but I don't hear anyone talking about Asian privilege. Because here's the thing, the Asians in this country are actually doing far better than whites. Asian kids are graduating from high school and college more often than anybody else, any other ethnic group. They score higher on their SATs and ACTs. They also have more intact families, and they make more money. Asians have it much better than we all do. And why is that? Well, it's like what Ben Shapiro said in this one panelist conversation that he had on YouTube talking about white privilege and racism. He answered this question, because of the fact that black people are more disadvantaged than all other cultures, don't you think that's because of racism? And he said, no, because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And I think the exact same thing. See, this is what I come to understand. Based on what I've heard from other black people, black guys who are telling like it is about the black community, and from exposing myself to the culture for a long time, is that the main reason why black people are being held back is not because of racism and prejudice or whatever. That was the case generations ago, over 50 years ago. Yeah, that's true. But that's not the case anymore. The reason why black people are holding themselves back is because of the culture in and of itself. See, as I said in one of my previous videos, the black community is very much so broken. This is what I come to understand, is that nowadays over 70% 70% of all black kids are born out of wedlock and raised in a broken home, and they don't have their fathers around their life. They don't have their fathers around to set up the discipline and setting up boundaries and to shape them up with the ideas of respect, with the ideas of hard work, and any of those virtues that a father applies to their kids. And kids who are born in a broken home are more likely to drop out or get kicked out of high school. They're more likely to end up getting pregnant or getting someone else pregnant while they're teenagers. They're more likely to get involved in mischievous behavior and crime, and they're also more likely to end up getting locked up, being in jail or prison, or eventually end up getting killed. You know. And here's another thing I found out is that black people really don't even like each other. You know, as explained by Chris Rock in his comedy bit called Niggas versus Black People, he said, who's more racist, black people or white people? Black people. You know why? Because we hate black people too. And see, here's another example of that, is that a lot of these young black guys, these young black kids who are raised in these broken homes, what happens with them in the ghetto is that since they don't have their fathers around and they weren't taught, respectful values, they go out into the streets to find out who their father figures are. And then what ends up happening is that they see these guys. Well, man, let's go on through. Okay. Is that they see the guys who are out in the streets, who are gangbanging, who are selling drugs, or pimping out women, or hustling, as being their father figures. And these are the guys they want to grow up to be, because those are their only male role models. And so they grow up not wanting to go to school, not wanting to do something bigger and better with themselves in their lives, and they go out into the streets. And then again, what ends up happening to a lot of them is they end up going to jail, going to prison, or they eventually end up getting killed. And they kill each other over the stupidest reasons. A lot of these young black guys are killing each other over jealousy and hatred and stupidity. Like what happened last year with Nipsey Hussle when he was shot and killed in his own hometown in LA on Slauson and Crenshaw. And he was killed by this one guy who was jealous of him because he was doing bigger and better things with himself. But it's a lot bigger than Nipsey Hussle. It's thousands of young black men in a lot of these major cities like Chicago, like Detroit, like New Orleans, LA, Oakland, New York, Atlanta. This is what I'm getting to, is that as I heard before, when you have a lot of broken homes, you have a broken community. And then this is what I also found out, is that one of the main reasons why there's so many broken homes within the black community was that ever since the late 60s, the United States government, mainly because through the Democratic Party, through Lyndon B. Johnson when he became president, came into the black community and told mostly these black women that they can go ahead and get these benefits from the government like welfare and food stamps and Social Security if they have children, as long as there isn't a father at the house. So what that has done is that has enabled young black women to not want to go out and work, to not do something bigger, more productive with their lives, and to chase away men in their lives who they have kids with so that they can get free stuff. But what incentive are you giving your children when you are living your life like that? I mean, first of all, when you're raising your kids on Social Security, welfare, and food stamps, you're not giving them a good life. And then also, when you are incentivizing with your kids the idea that you don't have to work hard or do anything with your life in order to make ends, to live, that's how they're going to live from generation to generation. And it's going to be a cycle that will continue itself. But get into the idea of reparations for slavery. See, this is my humble opinion, is that the black people that actually went through slavery over 150 years ago should have gotten reparations. But where are the remainder of them now? They're all dead and gone, unfortunately. And the whole idea of reparations for slavery is based on, because of all the stuff that's happened in the past with black people or whatever. Well, here's the thing, is that most black people nowadays have not gone through any of that. I mean, we've gotten rid of slavery, we've gotten rid of Jim Crow, and we've gotten rid of segregation, all that. What more? And here's also another thing that's been pointed out, is that black people have actually a lot more privileges nowadays. Black kids can go ahead and have their scores higher on their ACT or SATs so they can go into a school, or they'll be put into a school because they come from this messed up background in the ghetto, or the same two guys, one white, one black, who are applying for the same job with the same credentials. A lot of times it's the black guy that's going to get the job. You understand what I'm saying? So, and again, with the whole privilege of welfare, Social Security, and food stamps and all that counts as a real privilege. I mean, what else more do we have to say? Is that, it's not because of racism and prejudice that's holding the black community back. It's the black community that's holding themselves back. And that goes for everybody. And if you want to, not just for black people, but if you're a person that wants to blame all of your problems and ideas on society and what has been done to you, as I said before, you're choosing to be a victim. And as I said in one of my previous videos, a person who chooses to be a victim of their circumstances or all this made-up bullshit ideas of stuff that was done to them is not going to go anywhere with life. They're going to be a failure. They're going to become a loser. That's just the way it is. And in my eyes, this whole idea of white privilege and reparations is all this touchy-feely bullshit that has been made up, especially thanks to the Democratic Party and the liberals and leftists, so they can attempt to feel more virtuous or feel better about themselves or that they're doing good. But I'm going to say this. All you white people that will say that, I have white privilege, stop it. You don't. You don't have any privilege better than everybody else, okay? I mean, we're not living in the days of slavery and segregation anymore. Everyone has the right to do whatever they want to do. But if you, as I said before, if you're smart and if you're self-motivated and you're responsible and you have a good attitude, you're going to do well in life. But if you're stupid and you're lazy and you have a bad attitude and you're not responsible, you're not going to go anywhere in life. Your life is going to end up becoming even more so fucked up. That's how it's applied to everybody, not just for white people or black people or Asians, but for everybody. And there have been plenty of people, especially black guys within the black community that came from absolute fucked up conditions that have made something bigger and better of themselves in life. I mean, look at some of the most successful black entertainers like Dr. Dre or P. Diddy or Master P. These guys came from nothing. They came from fucked up backgrounds. But they were smart, they were talented, and they had something to offer to the world. And they made something bigger and better of themselves than where they came from. So, privilege does not exist. You don't get anything in life because you're privileged. You get what you want in life because you worked for it. Okay? And you don't deserve damages for something that hasn't happened to you. The Japanese got reparations for World War II when they were put in internment camps. But that was given to the Japanese who actually went through the internment camps. And the Jews were given reparations for the Holocaust, but that was given to the Jews that actually went through the Holocaust. Black people nowadays have not gone through slavery, and most black people have not gone through segregation or Jim Crow. But what they are going through now is this animosity towards each other. It's these bad cultural values of jealousy and hatred and stupidity that's holding them back. You know, I've heard this being said before. It's like black people are like crabs at the bottom of a barrel nowadays, that rather than working together to get out of the barrel, they are just beating the hell out of each other at the bottom of the barrel. You know, you guys got to wake up and realize you're doing this to yourselves. Okay? You got to wake up and realize that you got to work together, not work against each other, in order to make something bigger and better of your life as a community. And if you continue off in this direction, it's only going to get worse, as it has been for the past 50 years. Because back in the early 70s, 25% of all black kids were born out of wedlock. Now it's over 70%. And it's had drastic negative consequences. And if you're calling me a racist because I'm stating facts, I'm going to tell you this. You just can't, as Jack Nicholson said in the movie A Few Good Men, you can't handle the truth. That's what I have to say. Peace out, everybody.